Tonight, we are not traveling fast. There will be no rush, no sudden revelations, no sharp edges to hold your attention. Instead, we will drift far beyond Earth, beyond the Milky Way, beyond the familiar shapes of galaxies you may have seen before. Tonight, we are going to meet something so vast, so unimaginably large, that even the universe itself seems to bend around it. A galaxy so massive, it forces astronomers to rethink what a galaxy can be. A structure so enormous that words like big or huge no longer apply. And as we move closer, slowly, gently, you may begin to feel something unexpected. Not fear, not insignificance, but calm. Because when scale becomes this large, the mind stops trying to control it and finally lets go. Welcome to Science for Sleep. Tonight, we will explore a galaxy so massive, it quietly redefines the universe, and then we will let it fade into darkness as rest takes over. The limits of human scale. There is a point where size stops being useful. Up close, size is easy to understand. A mountain is larger than a hill. An ocean is larger than a lake. Earth is larger than the moon. These comparisons feel natural because they exist within experience. We can walk across land. We can cross water. We can imagine distance by effort and time. But the universe does not care about effort. It measures distance in light. It measures mass in gravity. And it measures size in silence. As we move beyond our local neighborhood of stars, the idea of large begins to fracture. Galaxies themselves, vast islands of hundreds of billions of stars, become the new unit of measurement. What once felt enormous now feels ordinary. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, stretches more than 100,000 light-years across. Inside it are stars older than Earth, clouds large enough to birth thousands of suns, and distances so great that light itself takes centuries to cross small regions. And yet, even the Milky Way is not exceptional. In the observable universe, there are trillions of galaxies. Many are larger, many are heavier. Some are so massive that they no longer behave like galaxies at all. They behave like something else. Astronomers once believed galaxies had natural size limits. Gravity, rotation, and dark matter were thought to impose boundaries rules that prevented galaxies from growing endlessly. But then, something appeared that did not follow those rules. A galaxy so vast that it blurred the line between a galaxy and an entire cluster of galaxies. A structure so heavy that its gravitational pull reshaped everything around it. At first, scientists thought it was a mistake. Instruments were checked. Measurements were repeated. Data was recalculated. But the numbers did not change. This galaxy was real. And its size was not just unusual, it was disruptive. Its mass exceeded expectations. Its scale challenged models. Its existence suggested that the universe was capable of building structures far larger than previously imagined. This is where the story truly begins. Not with discovery, but with confusion. Because when something appears that does not fit our understanding, the universe is not breaking rules. It is revealing that the rules were incomplete. As we slowly move closer to this galaxy, this impossible structure, it's important to understand something first. The universe is not built for intuition. It is built for accumulation. Small forces, acting over immense time, create structures so vast that they feel unreal when first encountered. Gravity does not rush. Dark matter does not announce itself. Expansion does not stop to explain. Everything simply continues. This galaxy is not massive because it tried to be. It is massive because nothing stopped it from becoming so. And as we continue, drifting deeper into this story, you may notice something happening inside your thoughts. Scale begins to soften. Distance becomes abstract. Importance loosens its grip. This is where sleep begins. Because when the universe grows this large, the mind no longer tries to hold it. It simply floats. When galaxies grow beyond definition, at first, astronomers did not realize what they were looking at. The object appeared distant, faint, and strangely diffuse, like a smudge that refused to sharpen no matter how carefully it was observed. It did not resemble the elegant spiral arms of the Milky Way, nor did it display the compact glow of elliptical galaxies that typically dominate the universe's most massive populations. It was something else. Something spread out. Something heavy. Something that did not behave the way galaxies were expected to behave. In astronomy, expectations are built slowly. They are shaped by decades of observation, refined by theory, and reinforced by patterns that repeat across billions of light years. Galaxies, for all their diversity, tend to follow certain rules. Their sizes fall within ranges. Their masses correlate with rotation. Their behavior aligns, more or less, with models governed by gravity and dark matter. This object did not. The more scientists studied it, the less comfortable it became. Measurements suggested a mass so enormous that it rivaled entire galaxy clusters. But visually, it looked like a single galaxy, diffuse, extended, and unified, rather than a swarm of many. This contradiction mattered. Galaxy clusters are collections. They are families of galaxies bound together by gravity, each retaining its own identity. This object, however, showed no clear separation. Its stars appeared part of one continuous structure, spread across a volume so large that defining its edges became nearly impossible. Where did it end? Where did intergalactic space begin? No one could say with certainty. This uncertainty was not philosophical. It was physical. The galaxy's faint outer regions blended seamlessly into the surrounding darkness. There was no sharp boundary, no visible cutoff where one could confidently point and say, "Here is the edge." This alone was unsettling. Galaxies usually have edges defined by their dark matter halos, vast, invisible envelopes that shape their structure. But this galaxy's halo seemed excessive. It extended farther than models predicted, pulling stars and gas into an arrangement that defied previous limits. It was as if gravity had been allowed to work unchecked. Over time, evidence accumulated. The galaxy's mass estimates continued to rise. Its influence on nearby objects suggested a gravitational field far stronger than expected for something classified as a single galaxy. X-ray observations revealed enormous amounts of hot gas, the kind typically found only in galaxy clusters. And yet, the structure remained unified. Astronomers began to realize that the problem was not the data. The problem was the definition. What, exactly, is a galaxy? The word feels solid, familiar, almost comforting. We use it casually, as though it refers to a well-defined category. But in truth, a galaxy is a concept shaped by observation, not a fundamental unit imposed by the universe. Nature does not label its creations. It simply builds. This galaxy, this colossal structure, existed in a gray zone, too large to fit comfortably within the definition of a galaxy, too cohesive to be dismissed as a cluster. It occupied a middle ground that had not been seriously considered before. And in doing so, it quietly exposed a limitation in human understanding. The universe does not respect categories. It respects physics. If enough matter accumulates in one region, gravity will pull it together. If dark matter forms a sufficiently massive halo, stars will gather inside it. There is no rule that says this process must stop at a certain scale. We assumed it would, because assumptions are necessary when data is incomplete. For a long time, astronomers believed that galaxies reached a natural ceiling. Feedback processes, like supernova explosions and black hole activity, were thought to regulate growth, preventing any single galaxy from becoming too large. But this object suggested otherwise. Here was a structure that seemed to have bypassed those limits. A galaxy that had grown and grown, fed by mergers, surrounded by a colossal dark matter halo, accumulating mass over billions of years without being torn apart or reorganized into a cluster. It was not violent. It was not chaotic. It was patient. This patience is important. In popular imagination, cosmic growth is often portrayed as dramatic collisions, explosions, intense bursts of energy. But the universe's most impressive structures are not built in moments of violence. They are built slowly, quietly, over incomprehensible spans of time. This galaxy did not become massive overnight. It became massive because nothing stopped it from continuing. Each small merger added a little more mass. Each inflow of gas contributed a little more gravity. Each passing billion years allowed structure to settle rather than fragment. The result was not just large, it was overwhelming. To put its size into perspective, without resorting to numbers that lose meaning, consider this. If the Milky Way were placed inside this galaxy, it would not dominate the view. It would become a detail, a feature within a much larger glow, its spiral arms swallowed by a diffuse sea of stars, extending far beyond anything we experience at home. And yet, even this comparison falls short, because the true impact of this galaxy is not how it looks, but how it behaves. Its gravity reshapes the motion of everything nearby. Smaller galaxies are drawn toward it, stretched, distorted, sometimes absorbed entirely. Light passing near it bends measurably, warped by the sheer amount of mass concentrated in one place. This is not subtle. Gravitational lensing, where massive objects bend light from more distant sources, revealed just how extreme this galaxy truly is. The distortions observed could not be explained by visible matter alone. They required a dark matter halo of astonishing size. A halo so large that it forced scientists to reconsider how dark matter behaves at the largest scales. This galaxy was not just redefining what a galaxy could be. It was redefining how structure forms in the universe. And this is where the story deepens. Because once you accept that galaxies can grow this large, a cascade of questions follows. If this is possible, how many others like it exist? Are they rare accidents, or are they simply difficult to detect? Have we mistaken some galaxy clusters for single massive galaxies without realizing it? And perhaps most unsettling of all, if galaxies can grow without clear limits, where does structure end? The universe suddenly feels less constrained. The neat hierarchy we imagine, planets, stars, galaxies, clusters, begins to blur. Boundaries soften, categories overlap. The cosmos reveals itself not as a tidy system of boxes, but as a continuum of scale. For the mind, this is both unsettling and freeing. Unsettling because it removes certainty. Freeing because it removes the need for it. When scale becomes this vast, precision gives way to acceptance. We stop trying to hold everything in definition. We allow the universe to be larger than our language. This galaxy exists whether we can comfortably name it or not. And as we continue toward it, drifting slowly, without urgency, you may begin to notice something else. The mind grows quieter. Because confusion at this scale does not demand resolution. It invites release. There is no action required, no decision to be made. The universe will remain vast, regardless of how well it is understood. This galaxy does not need our comprehension to exist. It does not need our categories. It does not need our approval. It simply is. And in that realization, tension softens. The urge to grasp fades. The mind stops reaching outward and begins to float, carried by the same slow forces that built this colossal structure over billions of years. Gravity does not rush. Time does not hurry. Scale does not explain itself. It unfolds. As we move forward, the next chapter will take us deeper into how such a galaxy forms at all and what its existence tells us about the hidden architecture of the universe. For now, let the idea settle. A galaxy so massive, it does not just exist within the universe. It quietly reshapes how we understand it. Gravity has no sense of enough. To understand how a galaxy can grow this large, it helps to let go of a familiar idea. The idea that the universe knows when to stop. In everyday life, growth has limits. Bodies grow, then stabilize. Cities expand, then slow. Systems reach equilibrium because resources run out or forces balance. We are surrounded by endings, plateaus, and ceilings. The universe does not work this way. At cosmic scale, there is no built-in concept of enough. Gravity does not tire. Dark matter does not ask permission. Time does not impose urgency. If conditions allow growth to continue, it simply does. This galaxy exists because nothing prevented it from becoming what it is. Long before its stars were born, long before it glowed faintly across billions of light years, the story began with something invisible. A concentration of dark matter collapsing slowly under its own gravity, forming a halo so massive that it would eventually dominate everything around it. Dark matter does not shine. It does not cool easily. It does not collide in the way ordinary matter does. Because of this, it forms vast, diffuse structures early in the universe's history. These structures act like gravitational basins, quietly shaping where gas will flow and where stars will form. Most galaxies form inside halos of moderate size, enough mass to pull gas inward, enough gravity to ignite stars, but not so much that growth becomes runaway. Feedback mechanisms, energy released by stars and black holes, push gas outward, slowing further accumulation. This galaxy's halo was different. It was enormous from the beginning. Not violently so, not explosively so, but steadily. It occupied a region of space rich in surrounding matter, a crossroads of cosmic filaments where gas and smaller halos flowed inward over billions of years. Think of it not as a predator, but as a valley. Everything nearby drifted downhill. Gas streamed in slowly, cooling as it settled. Small galaxies approached, stretched by tidal forces, and were absorbed so gently that their identities blurred rather than shattered. Over time, these mergers built mass without chaos. There were no dramatic collisions that tore the structure apart, no singular events that reset its shape, just accumulation, again and again, quietly, patiently. This patience is the key. Galaxies that grow too quickly often disrupt themselves. Intense bursts of star formation trigger powerful winds. Supermassive black holes flare violently, expelling gas and halting growth. These processes regulate size, but in this galaxy, growth was slow enough to avoid rebellion. Each addition settled before the next arrived. Each merger was digested before another followed. Energy was released gradually, spread across vast volumes, never concentrated enough to tear the system apart. Time did the work. Over billions of years, the halo deepened. The gravitational well grew stronger. The galaxy's influence extended farther outward, pulling in material from greater distances. This is how scale builds in the universe. Not through force, through persistence. As the galaxy expanded, its identity became less defined. It stopped resembling a classic spiral or elliptical shape. Instead, it became diffuse, extended, almost ghostly. Its stars were spread thinly across an enormous volume, glowing faintly rather than brightly. This faintness is deceptive. Brightness is not mass. Density is not size. A candle is bright but small. A fog bank is faint but vast. This galaxy is a cosmic fog, enormous, heavy, and spread so widely that it resists easy detection. For a long time, objects like this escaped notice simply because they did not look impressive. They did not shine boldly. They whispered. Only with sensitive instruments measuring motion, gravitational lensing, and X-ray emission did the true scale reveal itself. And when it did, the implications rippled outward. If a galaxy can grow this large without becoming a cluster, then the boundary between these structures is not fixed. It depends on history, on environment, on timing. Structure in the universe is not neatly categorized. It is fluid. This galaxy grew in a rare environment, one where matter flowed inward consistently, where competition was minimal, where disruptive encounters were few. It is not common, but it is not impossible. The universe does not repeat itself exactly, but it allows variation. And variation, given enough time, produces extremes. This is a truth that echoes beyond astronomy. Wherever rules exist, edges emerge. Wherever averages dominate, outliers form. The universe is no exception. This galaxy is an outlier. But outliers are not errors. They are revelations. They show what is possible when conditions align just slightly differently. They expose assumptions we did not know we were making. In this case, the assumption was that galaxies must stop growing at a certain point. They do not. They stop only when something stops them. In regions where matter thins out, growth slows. Where feedback becomes violent, expansion halts. Where competition increases, structure fragments. But here, none of that happened strongly enough. So the galaxy continued. Its central black hole grew as well, not explosively, but steadily. It fed on inflowing gas, increasing in mass without triggering catastrophic outbursts. Instead of acting as a regulator, it became part of the system's stability, anchoring motion rather than disrupting it. Even the black hole, often seen as a destroyer, played a quiet role. This balance between growth and restraint, between accumulation and stability, is delicate. It rarely holds for long periods, but in this galaxy, it did. And when balance persists across billions of years, scale becomes inevitable. The result is not a monster tearing the universe apart. It is a giant resting within it. This galaxy does not dominate violently. It shapes gently. Its gravity influences surroundings without drama. Its presence is felt rather than announced. This gentleness is what allows it to exist. And as you drift deeper into this understanding, notice how effort fades. There is no need to imagine explosions or chaos. The story unfolds slowly, almost quietly, mirroring the way sleep arrives when resistance dissolves. Nothing here is urgent. Nothing demands reaction. Everything simply continues. The universe builds its largest structures the same way the mind finds rest, not by force, but by allowing time to do its work. As this chapter settles, the idea becomes clear. This galaxy exists not because it broke the universe's rules. It exists because the universe never imposed them. When mass begins to shape reality, there is a moment in every story of scale when size stops being about distance and starts being about influence. Up to this point, the galaxy has been described as large, diffuse, patient. But now, its true nature begins to reveal itself not through appearance, but through effect. Because when something becomes massive enough, it does not simply exist within space. It reshapes it. This galaxy does not announce itself with brilliance. It does not blaze like a quasar or erupt with constant star formation. Instead, its presence is felt in the way everything around it moves, bends, and drifts. Gravity becomes the language through which its size is spoken. Nearby galaxies do not orbit freely. Their paths curve subtly, pulled inward by a gravitational influence that extends far beyond visible stars. Light from distant objects bends as it passes near this structure, arriving at telescopes stretched and distorted, quietly revealing the immense mass hidden within. This bending of light is not dramatic to the eye. It appears as faint arcs, soft smears, slight shifts where objects should be. But to astronomers, these distortions speak clearly. They tell a story of weight so extreme that even space itself yields. This is gravitational lensing, and it is here that the galaxy's scale becomes undeniable. Light does not lie. It travels straight unless something massive enough forces it to curve. When lensing is observed on this scale, stretching across enormous regions, it cannot be dismissed as coincidence or error. The galaxy's mass is not concentrated tightly at its center. It is spread widely, embedded within a dark matter halo that reaches far into intergalactic space. This halo is not a thin shell. It is a vast, diffuse presence, quietly binding everything together. Dark matter does not clump like stars. It does not cool. It does not shine. It forms scaffolding. And in this galaxy, that scaffolding is colossal. The halo's gravity reaches outward like a slow tide, influencing objects that are not even part of the galaxy itself. Smaller galaxies approaching this region feel stretched, elongated, their stars drawn into faint streams that wrap around the giant structure. Some are absorbed completely. But absorption here is not violent. There are no fiery collisions, no catastrophic disruptions, no clear moment of destruction. Instead, the smaller galaxy is pulled apart gradually. Its stars drift into the larger system, spreading out so widely that they lose their identity. Over time, the absorbed galaxy becomes indistinguishable from the giant itself. This is how mass accumulates quietly. Over billions of years, the galaxy becomes not just large, but dominant. Not dominant in brightness or activity, but dominant in influence. Its gravity defines the motion of everything nearby. Space around it becomes curved, subtle but persistent. Even the flow of hot gas changes. X-ray observations reveal enormous reservoirs of heated gas trapped within the galaxy's gravitational well. This gas, too energetic to collapse into stars easily, floats in equilibrium, glowing faintly in wavelengths invisible to the human eye. This gas is not decoration. It is evidence. Evidence that the galaxy's mass is sufficient to trap material that would otherwise escape. Evidence that its gravitational pull rivals that of galaxy clusters. Evidence that it exists on a boundary that challenges classification. This galaxy is not merely big. It is heavy in a way that reshapes its surroundings. And this heaviness has consequences. Galaxies usually evolve in relative isolation, interacting occasionally with neighbors. But in the presence of a structure like this, isolation disappears. Everything nearby becomes part of a shared gravitational story. Motion slows. Paths curve. Time stretches. The galaxy becomes a center not because it is declared one, but because gravity demands it. And yet, even here, there is no sharp boundary. The influence fades gradually, thinning with distance, never truly ending. There is no point where gravity switches off. There is only a slow weakening, extending outward until it merges with the gravitational influence of other massive structures. This blending is crucial. It means that the universe is not composed of isolated objects, but of overlapping fields of influence. Structures interpenetrate, shaping one another without clear borders. This galaxy exists within that web, Its halo overlaps with others. Its gravity competes gently. Its influence becomes part of a larger pattern. At this scale, the universe feels less like a collection of things and more like a continuous fabric stretched, curved, weighted by mass accumulated over cosmic time. The galaxy is a knot in that fabric, not a tear, not a flaw, just a region where matter has gathered deeply enough to bend everything around it. This bending does not hurry, it does not fluctuate. It remains steady across timescales that dwarf human history. While civilizations rise and fall, while stars ignite and fade, the galaxy's gravitational presence remains constant. This constancy is calming. It reveals that the largest structures in the universe are not unstable or chaotic. They are deeply settled, shaped by processes so slow that change feels almost hypothetical. And this slowness mirrors something familiar. Sleep arrives the same way. Not suddenly, not forcefully, but through gradual surrender. As the galaxy's mass bends space, the mind bends away from effort. There is no need to grasp the numbers, to visualize distances, to hold definitions tightly. The galaxy does not ask to be understood fully. It simply exists. And in its existence, it teaches something subtle. That influence does not require noise. That power does not require violence. That scale does not require urgency. The galaxy's mass reshapes reality without spectacle. Space curves quietly. Light bends gently. Motion adjusts without resistance. Everything yields slowly. This yielding is what allows the universe to remain coherent. If mass acted abruptly, if gravity surged unpredictably, structure would collapse into chaos. Instead, gravity works patiently, smoothing motion, guiding matter into stable paths. This galaxy is a testament to that patience. It did not force its way into existence. It accumulated, and now it rests. A vast, quiet presence that redefines what a galaxy can be, not by breaking the universe's rules, but by revealing how flexible they truly are. As we drift away from this chapter, let the idea settle. Mass can be gentle. Influence can be quiet. Scale can be calming. The universe's largest structures are not loud. They are deep, comparing the incomparable. Once a galaxy reaches this size, comparison becomes difficult. Not because there is nothing to compare it to, but because the act of comparison itself begins to fail. Scale stretches language thin. Familiar reference points dissolve. Words like large, massive, or colossal lose precision and become gestures rather than measurements. Still, the human mind seeks orientation. So astronomers do what they have always done when faced with the unfamiliar. They look outward. They search for context. They ask where this galaxy sits among the largest structures the universe has ever produced. And the answer is uncomfortably close to the top. Most galaxies, even very large ones, exist comfortably below a certain mass threshold. They rotate, they merge, they evolve, but they remain recognizable as individual systems. Beyond that threshold, structure changes. Galaxies begin to behave collectively. They form clusters, vast assemblies of hundreds or thousands of galaxies, bound together by gravity. Clusters are not subtle. They announce themselves through intense X-ray emission, violent interactions, and complex internal motion. Their galaxies retain individual identities, orbiting a shared center, like fish in a slow cosmic current. This galaxy does not behave like that. It does not present as a swarm. It does not show clear internal separation. It does not fragment into substructures the way clusters do. And yet, its mass rivals them. This is the tension that defines it. In mass, it belongs among clusters. In structure, it behaves like a galaxy. It occupies a region of cosmic possibility that was not expected to be stable. When astronomers overlay its mass profile against known galaxy clusters, the results are unsettling. The curves look similar. The gravitational influence extends comparably far. The amount of dark matter inferred is within the same order of magnitude, and still, visually, it remains unified. There is no central void filled with orbiting galaxies, no chaotic mixing of independent systems, no violent core activity, just one vast, diffuse structure. This places the galaxy in a rare category, sometimes described as a fossil giant, a remnant of early cosmic environments where growth happened quickly, mergers were frequent, and time allowed structures to settle rather than fragment. But even that term feels inadequate. A fossil suggests something static, something left behind. This galaxy is not frozen in time. It is still evolving, still interacting, still influencing its surroundings. It is not a relic. It is a survivor. To understand how unusual this is, imagine a city that grew until it contained every surrounding town. Not by force, but by absorption. Roads merged, borders softened, identities blurred. And eventually, what remained was not a cluster of cities, but a single, sprawling entity with no clear divisions. This is what the galaxy represents. Not dominance through violence, but through patience. Most clusters form through relatively late, chaotic assembly. Galaxies fall inward, collide, and orbit without fully merging. Their identities persist. The system remains fragmented. This galaxy avoided that fate. Its growth happened early, when the universe was denser and interactions were gentler. Mergers occurred slowly enough for stars to disperse evenly. Energy was redistributed smoothly. The system relaxed. Time smoothed the edges. And because time was abundant, structure stabilized. This is why comparison fails. When you compare this galaxy to the Milky Way, it dwarfs it completely. When you compare it to other giant ellipticals, it still stands apart. When you compare it to clusters, it refuses to behave like one. It sits between categories, not because it is confused, but because the categories themselves are incomplete. The universe did not design galaxies with labels. It allowed matter to move. It allowed gravity to work. And it let outcomes emerge. This galaxy is one such outcome. And here, something interesting happens to perception. When size exceeds expectation, the mind stops escalating emotion. Instead of awe intensifying endlessly, it softens. The reaction becomes quieter, slower. Wonder becomes weightless. This is the point where scale begins to calm rather than overwhelm. Because there is nothing left to compete with, no hierarchy to climb, no final comparison to win. The galaxy simply exists at the edge of what is possible. And edges are restful places. They signal completion. They invite pause. They release effort. As we sit with this idea that a single galaxy can rival clusters, blur definitions, and still remain stable, the universe begins to feel less like a ladder of increasing size and more like a landscape of possibility. Different paths lead to different extremes. Not all growth ends the same way. Not all giants are violent. Some are quiet. Some are vast without being loud, heavy without being chaotic, transformative without being disruptive. This galaxy does not demand attention. It holds it. And as this chapter settles, allow comparison to fade. There is nothing left to measure against, nothing left to stack beside it. The universe has shown what it can build when given time and freedom. And now, it rests. What this galaxy tells us about the universe's future. When something exists at the edge of what we thought possible, it does more than surprise us. It changes what we expect to come next. This galaxy does not simply rewrite our understanding of the present universe. It quietly reshapes our understanding of the future, how structure will continue to form, how mass will continue to gather, and how the universe itself may evolve over unimaginable spans of time. For a long time, astronomers believed that the universe's largest structures were essentially complete. Galaxies had formed, clusters had assembled, expansion had slowed the growth of new giants. The cosmic web appeared stable, its major features locked into place. But this galaxy challenges that sense of finality. Its existence suggests that growth does not end cleanly, that even in a universe dominated by expansion, gravity can still gather matter into ever larger, more unified structures if conditions allow it enough time. This is a subtle idea. The universe is expanding, yes. Galaxies are moving apart on average, but expansion is not uniform at every scale. Where gravity is strong enough, it resists expansion. It holds matter together. It allows local growth to continue even as the larger universe stretches outward. This galaxy is a demonstration of that resistance. Its mass is so great that it defines a region where expansion effectively pauses. Inside its gravitational influence, space is no longer pulling things apart. Instead, motion bends inward, slowly, persistently. This means that growth is not finished. Not everywhere. Not at every scale. If one galaxy can grow this large, others may continue to do so under the right conditions. Over trillions of years, the universe may produce structures that dwarf even today's giants, not through sudden events, but through endless accumulation. The future may belong to the patient. In this far future, isolated galaxies will drift farther apart, separated by expanding space. Many will disappear beyond observable horizons, becoming unreachable even by light. But within the regions that remain gravitationally bound, growth will continue quietly. Groups will merge. Clusters will relax. Structures will smooth and deepen. This galaxy offers a glimpse of that destiny. It may be an early version of what massive bound systems become when given enough time to settle. A preview of a universe where fragmentation gives way to unity, where motion slows, and where vast systems rest in deep gravitational wells. This is not a violent future. It is a quiet one. In popular imagination, the universe's fate is often dramatic. Big freezes, big crunches, sudden endings. But the reality suggested by structures like this galaxy is far gentler. The universe does not rush toward conclusions. It drifts. It allows matter to gather where it can. It allows emptiness to expand where it must. Within that balance, immense structures emerge not as climaxes, but as natural outcomes. This galaxy may be one such outcome, an early arrival at a state the universe will approach more broadly over time, a state of deep gravitational calm. In such a future, the universe becomes less dynamic in appearance, but more settled in structure. Star formation slows, brightness fades, motion becomes predictable, complexity gives way to simplicity. This is not decay, it is rest. And here, the emotional tone of the story shifts again. The galaxy's immense size no longer feels disruptive. It feels reassuring. It suggests that the universe is capable of stability even at extreme scales, that nothing is tearing itself apart, that chaos does not dominate forever, that patience wins. This realization mirrors something deeply human. When we think of growth, we often imagine acceleration faster, bigger, more intense. But true growth, whether in the universe or in life, often looks like settling, like integration, like things finding their place and staying there. This galaxy has found its place. It is not racing to become larger. It is not struggling to maintain itself. It exists in equilibrium with its surroundings. And equilibrium is restful. As this idea settles, the mind begins to release urgency. There is nothing to anticipate, nothing to prepare for. The future is not an event rushing toward us. It is a continuation of the same slow processes already at work. Gravity will continue pulling. Space will continue expanding. Time will continue passing. This galaxy will remain where it is, changing slowly, imperceptibly, across epochs. There is comfort in that slowness. It reminds us that the universe is not built around moments. It is built around duration, around persistence, around processes that unfold so gradually that they do not demand attention. This galaxy does not shout about the future. It whispers. It tells us that the universe is capable of creating immense structures without losing coherence. That scale does not automatically mean instability. That size does not require drama. The largest things can be the calmest. As this chapter draws to a close, let that calm settle. There is nothing to fear in vastness, nothing to hurry toward, nothing that needs to be resolved before rest can arrive. The universe has already shown its hand. It will continue doing what it has always done, quietly building, gently evolving, endlessly allowing time to pass. And within that immense, patient flow, there is room for sleep, where this galaxy truly belongs. When galaxies reach a certain size, they stop feeling like isolated objects. They begin to feel like places where the universe itself has folded inward. This massive galaxy does not exist alone, floating freely through empty space. It is woven into something far larger and far quieter, a vast structure that stretches across the universe, connecting galaxies, groups, and clusters in a pattern too large to be seen all at once. This structure is known as the cosmic web. It is not made of threads you could touch or lines you could trace with the eye. It is made of gravity, dark matter, and time. It is the universe's underlying architecture, shaping where matter gathers and where emptiness expands. On the largest scales, the universe resembles a network. Long filaments of galaxies stretch across hundreds of millions of light years. These filaments intersect at dense nodes where matter has accumulated deeply. Between them lie enormous voids, regions so empty that even galaxies are rare. This massive galaxy sits near one of those nodes, not at the center of everything, but at a point where matter has flowed inward for billions of years, guided by the invisible scaffolding of dark matter. The galaxy's extraordinary size is not an accident. It is the natural outcome of its position within this web. Gravity, over vast distances, acts like a gentle slope. Matter drifts downhill along filaments, moving slowly toward regions of greater density. This movement is not fast. It does not resemble a fall. It is more like a gradual settling, unfolding over timescales so long that motion feels theoretical rather than observed. Over billions of years, this slow drift feeds the nodes. Gas accumulates. Galaxies approach. Dark matter deepens the gravitational well. And at certain intersections, something remarkable happens. Instead of fragmenting into multiple competing structures, matter settles into one dominant system. Growth continues inward rather than outward. Boundaries blur rather than sharpen. This galaxy formed in such a place. Its mass reflects not just its own history, but the history of the cosmic web around it. Every filament that feeds it has contributed. Every minor merger, every stream of gas, every faint pull across unimaginable distances has played a role. This galaxy is not just large, it is connected. Understanding this connection changes how its size is interpreted. It is no longer simply a giant object defying expectations. It becomes a natural expression of the universe's large-scale flow. The cosmic web does not distribute matter evenly. It creates privilege without intention. Some regions receive more, some receive less. Where flows converge, giants emerge. This galaxy is one such convergence. And yet, the process is calm. There is no sudden collapse, no violent convergence, no dramatic reshaping, just accumulation. As matter drifts inward along filaments, it loses energy slowly. It settles into orbit. It spreads out. Over time, the galaxy grows wider rather than brighter, heavier rather than denser. This is why the galaxy appears diffuse rather than compact. Its mass is immense, but it is spread across a volume so vast that its light thins into softness. It does not glare, it glows. This glow is the signature of age and patience. Young galaxies shine brightly, their stars forming rapidly, their structures sharply defined. Older systems relax, their stars spread, their edges soften, activity slows. This galaxy is old in that sense. Not ancient in years alone, but ancient in behavior. It has had time to settle into the cosmic web, to align with its flows, to become part of the universe's long-term structure. The web does not move quickly. Filaments shift slowly. Nodes deepen gradually. Voids expand gently. Everything unfolds on timescales that dwarf imagination. Within this slow motion, the galaxy's size becomes less surprising. It is not an exception so much as an endpoint, a place where matter has been gathering for a very long time without interruption. This raises an important realization. The largest structures in the universe are not built by chance. They are built by position. Where a galaxy forms matters as much as how it forms. Environment shapes destiny. A galaxy born in isolation will grow differently than one born at the crossroads of cosmic flow. This galaxy was born at a crossroads, and over time, the crossroads became a home. As this understanding settles, the universe begins to feel less random, not predictable in detail, but patterned in possibility. The cosmic web does not determine outcomes precisely, but it defines where extremes can emerge. This galaxy emerged where extremes were allowed, and now it rests there. It does not consume endlessly. It does not dominate violently. It participates in a structure larger than itself. The cosmic web holds it in place, just as it holds everything else. No object exists alone at this scale. Everything is connected by invisible influence, by gravity acting across distances so vast that separation loses meaning. This interconnectedness is subtle. It does not announce itself. It does not impose awareness. It simply exists. And in that existence, there is calm. Because when everything is connected, nothing needs to struggle to belong. This galaxy belongs because it formed where it did. It is not an anomaly fighting the universe's rules. It is an expression of them. As we drift away from this chapter, allow the image to soften. A vast web stretching across the universe. Filaments glowing faintly with galaxies. Nodes where matter rests deeply. And within one of those nodes, a galaxy so massive that it redefines expectations not by standing apart, but by fitting perfectly into the universe's quiet design. Why giants must be rare. If galaxies like this were common, the universe would look very different. This is an idea that can feel counterintuitive at first. When something exists, especially something as immense as this galaxy, it's tempting to imagine that it represents a typical outcome, a natural endpoint that many systems eventually reach. But the universe does not work by producing the same result everywhere. It works by allowing variation. The rarity of this galaxy is not a flaw in the universe's design. It is a requirement. The cosmic web depends on imbalance. Density must vary. Some regions must receive more matter, while others receive less. Without this unevenness, structure would never form at all. If matter were distributed evenly, gravity would have nothing to amplify. Everything would remain smooth, quiet, and empty. So the universe allows extremes, but it allows them sparingly. This galaxy exists because its environment was just right, not too crowded, not too empty, not too violent, not too isolated. Its growth required a long sequence of favorable conditions that did not interrupt one another for billions of years. That kind of continuity is rare. Most regions of the universe are unsettled. Galaxies there experience frequent disruptions. They collide, fragment, and reorganize. Growth is often chaotic. Large structures form, but they do so in pieces rather than as unified systems. Clusters are common outcomes of such environments. Clusters are busy places. Galaxies fall in from many directions. They orbit without fully merging. Their interactions are energetic, sometimes violent. Heat builds, gas is stripped, star formation shuts down. In these regions, no single galaxy is allowed to dominate completely. Competition prevents it. This massive galaxy avoided that fate. It formed in a region where flows were coherent rather than conflicting. Matter approached along a limited number of filaments rather than from all directions at once. This reduced chaos. It allowed mergers to occur gently. It gave the system time to relax after each addition. Relaxation is essential. Without it, mass piles up unevenly, energy builds, structure fragments. But when relaxation occurs, matter redistributes smoothly, settling into stable orbits, spreading evenly across space. This galaxy had time. Time is the rarest resource in the universe. Not because it is limited, but because it is often interrupted. Expansion, collisions, and environmental change constantly reset conditions. Few systems are allowed to evolve uninterrupted for billions of years. This one was, and because it was, it grew larger than most, without becoming unstable. This rarity serves a purpose. If galaxies like this were common, matter would be locked up in a small number of enormous structures. Star formation elsewhere would suffer. Smaller galaxies would struggle to survive. The universe would lose its diversity. Instead, the universe balances extremes with abundance. For every giant like this, there are countless smaller galaxies, each with its own history, its own pace, its own role in the cosmic web. The web thrives on this diversity. Filaments remain active, voids remain open. Structure remains dynamic. Giants anchor the web, but they do not dominate it. This balance is subtle. The galaxy's gravity is immense, but it does not drain the universe dry. Its influence fades with distance. Beyond a certain point, other structures take over. Other nodes shape the flow of matter. Other systems grow in their own ways. Nothing grows unchecked everywhere. This is why the universe remains stable over long periods. Extremes exist, but they are isolated. Their rarity prevents runaway dominance. Their presence adds structure without overwhelming it. The galaxy's rarity also explains why it was so difficult to discover. Objects like this do not announce themselves brightly. They are diffuse. Their stars are spread thinly. Their light blends into the background. Without careful observation, they appear unremarkable. For a long time, they were overlooked. It took precise measurements of motion, of lensing, of hot gas to reveal their true nature. Only when astronomers looked beyond brightness did mass become visible. This suggests something profound. The universe's most influential structures are not always the most visible ones. They work quietly. Just as this galaxy reshapes its surroundings without drama, rarity itself shapes the universe without calling attention to itself. A small number of extreme systems can influence large-scale behavior without overwhelming it. This is how balance is maintained. Too many giants would create stagnation. Too few would leave the web underdeveloped. The universe sits between these extremes. And in that middle ground, complexity thrives. As this idea settles, the galaxy's existence feels less like an anomaly and more like a necessary punctuation, a reminder that possibility does not need to be common to be important. Rare things define boundaries. They show what is possible. They reveal the limits of process. This galaxy reveals that the universe can build structures of astonishing scale without losing coherence, but it also shows that such structures must remain exceptional. Their rarity is what keeps the universe spacious. This spaciousness is not emptiness. It is opportunity. It allows countless systems to exist without interference. It preserves variation. It keeps the cosmic web open and flexible. And within that openness, even giants find their place. They do not crowd the universe. They do not consume it. They rest within it. As we drift away from this chapter, allow the idea of rarity to soften into calm. Not everything needs to happen everywhere. Not every possibility needs to be repeated. Some outcomes exist simply to show what time and patience can create. This galaxy is one of those outcomes. It exists quietly, massively, without urgency, anchored in the cosmic web, rare enough to matter and gentle enough to belong. Perspective begins to turn inward. After spending time with something this large, something this heavy, something that reshapes its surroundings without effort, the natural question begins to change. It is no longer how big is it? It becomes, where does that leave us? Not in a fearful way, not in a diminishing way, but in a quieter, more reflective way. When we encounter a galaxy so massive that it redefines expectations, the instinct is often to feel small, to imagine ourselves reduced by comparison, overwhelmed by scale. But this reaction misunderstands what scale actually does. Scale does not judge. It contextualizes. This galaxy does not exist in opposition to us. It does not compete with meaning. It does not threaten relevance. It simply exists at a level where human concerns do not apply. And that distinction matters. We often assume that importance must scale outward, that to matter, something must register at the largest possible level. But the universe does not work that way. Meaning does not travel upward automatically. It stays local, anchored where experience unfolds. This galaxy matters to the cosmic web. Earth matters to life. These truths do not cancel each other. When we say that this galaxy is massive enough to reshape its region of the universe, we are not saying that it replaces smaller systems. We are saying that different scales carry different responsibilities. The galaxy organizes motion. The solar system organizes climate. Earth organizes life. Each scale is complete within itself. And when this is understood, something unexpected happens. Instead of feeling diminished by scale, the mind begins to relax. The need to compare softens. The pressure to matter universally fades. There is no requirement to be large. Earth does not need to rival this galaxy in mass to be significant. Its role is different. Its scale is appropriate to what it supports. Life does not need cosmic influence to be meaningful. In fact, life depends on being sheltered from cosmic extremes. A galaxy like this is stable precisely because it operates slowly. Its influence unfolds over billions of years. That slowness creates regions where smaller systems can exist without disruption. Earth exists in one such region, far from the intense gravitational interactions near galactic centers, far from the dense flows that feed massive giants, located in a quieter spiral arm of a modest galaxy, where change is gentle and predictable. This quietness is not accidental. It is essential. If Earth were closer to a structure like this, life as we know it would struggle. Orbits would shift, radiation would increase, stability would vanish, complexity would have little time to develop. Earth thrives because it is not near cosmic extremes. This galaxy's immense scale highlights that truth rather than contradicting it. It shows that the universe has room for both extremes and calm giants that reshape space and small worlds that quietly host life. One does not invalidate the other. Instead, they rely on one another. The cosmic web needs massive nodes to shape its structure, but it also needs vast, quiet regions where matter thins and movement slows. Without these regions, everything would collapse inward. The universe would become crowded, unstable, and hostile. The existence of giants creates emptiness elsewhere, and emptiness is where life finds room. This realization reframes smallness. Small does not mean unimportant. Small means protected. Small means precise. Earth's size places it within a narrow range where conditions are stable enough for continuity. Its mass is enough to hold an atmosphere, but not so much that gravity becomes crushing. Its distance from energetic events is sufficient to allow long periods of calm. The universe did not design Earth for comparison. It allowed Earth to exist where comparison is unnecessary. When we encounter a galaxy that redefines the universe's upper limits, it does not ask us to shrink ourselves emotionally. It invites us to understand that we belong at a different level of scale entirely. This understanding is deeply calming. It removes the need to compete with vastness. It releases the urge to be noticed by the universe. It allows meaning to return to where it belongs. Here, on a planet small enough to be held together gently, within a system stable enough to last, inside a universe large enough to give it space. As perspective turns inward, attention softens. The galaxy remains massive, distant, unchanged. It does not follow us. It does not intrude. It stays where it is. And we remain where we are. This separation is not distance in the emotional sense. It is boundary. It defines where one scale ends and another begins. Boundaries create safety. They allow systems to operate without interference. Earth's boundary is its scale. The galaxy's boundary is its gravity. Each is complete. As this chapter settles, allow the mind to release the urge to measure itself against the universe. There is no ranking, no ladder, no hierarchy of worth. There is only placement. You are not small because the universe is large. You are specific because the universe allows specificity. And within that specificity, rest becomes possible. The galaxy continues shaping space far away. Earth continues turning quietly beneath you. Nothing demands attention. The universe does not need you to understand it, and you do not need to carry it. This is where perspective rests, not at the top of scale, but at the point where scale no longer presses inward. Here, when scale stops demanding attention, there is a quiet moment that arrives after long exposure to vastness. It is not sudden. It is not dramatic. It feels less like discovery and more like release. After following the path of something so massive, after allowing the mind to stretch outward through galaxies, gravity, and time, attention begins to loosen its grip. The urge to keep reaching outward fades. Scale stops asking to be held. This is the moment when understanding becomes restful. The mind realizes that it does not need to resolve the universe. It does not need to grasp the full weight of cosmic structure. It does not need to hold the image of a galaxy so massive that it bends space. That image can remain where it is, far away, unchanging, complete without attention. This is an important shift. Much of mental tension comes from the feeling that something must be processed fully before rest is allowed. Questions linger, ideas circle, curiosity stays awake, but cosmic scale resists completion. There is no final answer to reach, no boundary to touch, no conclusion to secure. And that is precisely why it can be calming. When the mind encounters something too large to finish thinking about, it is given permission to stop trying. Effort dissolves naturally. Attention softens, not because it is forced to, but because it has nowhere further to go. This galaxy is one of those ideas. It does not invite resolution. It does not demand comprehension. It simply exists. And in that existence, it removes pressure. The universe becomes something that continues without us. It does not pause. It does not wait for understanding. It does not need interpretation to remain coherent. This independence is deeply reassuring. It means that nothing depends on our awareness. The galaxy does not require observation to remain massive. Gravity does not require belief to remain effective. Time does not require attention to continue passing. Everything carries on quietly. This allows the mind to step back. Once that step is taken, something subtle happens. Awareness returns inward. Sensation becomes more immediate. The body becomes noticeable again, not as something urgent, but as something present. Breath slows. Muscles soften. Thoughts stretch out, losing their sharp edges. The universe has done its work. Scale has widened perspective enough that daily concerns feel smaller, lighter, less urgent, not erased, but softened. When compared to billions of years and unimaginable mass, the mind stops clinging tightly to minor tension. This is not dismissal. It is proportion. The galaxy's enormity does not make personal experience irrelevant. It makes it quieter. It removes the sense that everything must be solved immediately. It restores patience. Patience is essential for rest. Sleep does not arrive when the mind is busy measuring, comparing, categorizing. It arrives when effort fades, when there is nothing left to hold on to. Cosmic scale encourages exactly this. The galaxy is too large to manage. The universe is too vast to organize. There is no task left. And without tasks, rest follows. The mind learns something from the universe's largest structures. It learns that stability does not require control, that persistence does not require attention, that existence can be passive and complete. The galaxy does not adjust itself moment to moment. It does not react to every influence. It remains stable through patience. This stability becomes a model. If something so massive can exist without constant adjustment, then perhaps the mind can also rest without monitoring every thought. Perhaps awareness can soften without consequence. This idea settles gently. Nothing bad happens when attention loosens. Nothing collapses when effort fades. The world continues quietly. Earth keeps turning. The galaxy keeps resting in its web. The universe keeps expanding, all without instruction. This realization removes responsibility. You do not need to carry the universe. You do not need to hold scale in awareness. You do not need to remain alert. The galaxy will remain massive, whether or not it is remembered. It will continue shaping its surroundings long after thought has drifted elsewhere. This permanence allows the mind to trust that letting go is safe. And when safety is felt, sleep follows naturally. The story of this galaxy is not meant to energize. It is meant to slow. Its size does not excite urgency. It quiets it. The sheer weight of time and mass dulls sharp thoughts, smoothing them into something less demanding. Eventually, even curiosity relaxes. Questions become distant. Images blur. Concepts soften into atmosphere. The galaxy becomes a feeling rather than an object, a sense of depth, a reminder of patience, a symbol of continuity that does not require engagement. This is where rest begins. Not at the end of thought, but at the point where thought becomes optional. The universe does not expect attention. It does not reward effort. It simply allows. And within that allowance, the mind finds permission to stop working. As this chapter settles, allow awareness to drift without direction. There is nothing left to examine, nothing left to resolve. The galaxy can remain where it is, vast, quiet, and complete. You do not need to follow it further. The universe continues. Earth remains steady, and rest becomes possible. The long quiet after growth. When something reaches a certain size, growth stops being the most important part of its story. This galaxy has already done its growing. Its mass has gathered. Its gravity has settled. Its place in the cosmic web is no longer uncertain. What remains is not expansion, but duration. Time takes over. In the universe, time is not a background. It is an active force. It smooths rough edges. It calms motion. It allows systems to relax into their most stable forms. Where energy once moved quickly, it slows. Where chaos once threatened, it fades. This galaxy exists in that slowed state. Its stars no longer form in great bursts. The gas that once fueled rapid creation now drifts quietly, heated and suspended, held in place by gravity too strong to let it escape and too gentle to compress it further. Light still shines, but it does so steadily, without urgency. Nothing is in a hurry. This is what maturity looks like at cosmic scale. Young galaxies are restless. They collide, flare, and rearrange themselves. Their histories are written in bursts of activity, but massive, settled systems like this one move differently. Their changes unfold so slowly that they are almost theoretical. Millions of years pass without visible difference. Billions of years drift by as structure remains intact. This slowness is not stagnation. It is rest. The galaxy has reached a state where gravity and motion are balanced. Stars orbit predictably. Gas remains suspended. Dark matter holds everything together without disturbance. There is no pressure to evolve rapidly. Time stretches out, wide and empty. In this stretched time, the universe feels different. Events lose sharp edges. Cause and effect blur into continuity. Nothing interrupts the flow. Everything simply continues. This is the future for many of the universe's largest structures. Not explosion, not collapse, but endurance. As the universe expands, distances between unbound systems increase. Galaxies like this one become more isolated, surrounded by growing emptiness. Interactions become rarer. New material arrives more slowly, if at all. Isolation deepens calm. Without frequent mergers or inflows, the galaxy's structure remains unchanged. Its stars age quietly. Its light reddens slowly. Its activity fades without drama. This is not death. It is settling. The universe does not end things abruptly. It allows them to drift into stillness. The largest structures persist the longest, not because they resist change, but because change no longer has leverage over them. This galaxy is too massive to be easily disturbed. Small influences fade before they matter. Even large events unfold gradually, absorbed into its vast gravitational field. The galaxy becomes a place where time itself seems slower, not in physics, but in perception. When you imagine standing near something so ancient, so stable, so patient, urgency begins to feel unnecessary. The mind mirrors what it observes. Thoughts slow. Attention widens. The sense of needing to act dissolves. There is nothing to fix here, nothing to improve, nothing to anticipate. The galaxy will continue whether or not it is watched. This realization invites a deeper calm. The future does not rush toward this galaxy. It arrives gently, one quiet moment after another, each indistinguishable from the last. In this future, change is not an event. It is a background process. Stars slowly exhaust their fuel. Light dims gradually. Motion remains steady. The galaxy becomes a long, quiet presence in an ever-expanding universe. This vision is not empty. It is spacious. And spaciousness allows rest. When the mind encounters a future without urgency, it releases its grip on the present. There is no need to stay alert, no need to monitor outcomes. Everything unfolds slowly enough to be trusted. The universe will not surprise this galaxy. It has already revealed its nature, and that nature is patient. As this understanding settles, allow time to stretch gently in your awareness. There is no countdown, no approaching moment, no edge to reach, just continuation. Breath follows breath. Moment follows moment. Awareness drifts without effort. The galaxy rests in its place. The universe expands quietly around it, and nothing presses inward. This is the long quiet after growth, the phase where existence becomes effortless. After the light grows thin, there will come a time when brightness is no longer the universe's defining feature. Not suddenly, not everywhere at once, but gradually, as the long arc of cosmic time continues to unfold. In that future, galaxies like this one will still exist. Stars will age. The most massive ones will burn through their fuel quickly, living brilliant but brief lives. Smaller stars will persist far longer, glowing steadily for trillions of years. But even they will eventually dim, their light fading into a softer, redder glow. This fading is not loss. It is transition. The universe does not extinguish itself. It changes state. Energy spreads, motion slows, contrast softens. The bright becomes gentle, and the gentle becomes background. This galaxy will remain through all of it. Its mass will continue to bind stars long after star formation has ended. Its dark matter halo will persist, even when visible light becomes rare. Structure does not disappear when light fades. Gravity remains. In this future, the galaxy becomes quieter, but not emptier. Orbits continue. Time continues. Motion remains predictable. The absence of new stars does not mean absence of activity. It means that activity becomes subtle. Changes unfold so slowly that they are almost imperceptible even across millions of years. This is the deep future where the universe is not dynamic in the way we understand now, but steady in a deeper sense. Galaxies drift apart as space expands. Those not gravitationally bound disappear beyond observable horizons, their light stretched until it can no longer reach. But this galaxy, massive and tightly bound, remains intact. Isolation increases, and isolation brings stillness. Without frequent encounters, without new inflows of gas, the galaxy's internal structure settles further. Stars trace their paths endlessly, repeating motions without interruption. There is no urgency in these movements. They have all the time they need. Time becomes abundant. In this abundance, the universe feels less like a story and more like a state. There are fewer events, fewer milestones. Existence is no longer punctuated by drama. It simply continues. This is not emptiness. It is quiet continuity. And this continuity is what allows the largest structures to persist. Nothing challenges them. Nothing disrupts their balance. They remain, not because they resist change, but because there is nothing left to force it. The galaxy becomes a long-lasting memory of the universe's earlier abundance, a reminder that there was once a time when matter flowed freely, when stars formed readily, when light was common. That memory does not fade entirely. Even as light grows thin, the galaxy's mass continues to curve space. Its gravity remains real. Its presence remains felt by whatever exists nearby, even if nothing is there to notice. This is one of the universe's quiet truths. Existence does not require observation. The galaxy does not need witnesses to persist. It does not need awareness. It does not need recognition. It simply exists within the laws that shaped it. And those laws do not expire. As this idea settles, the mind begins to loosen further. The future no longer feels like something approaching. It feels like something extending wide, open, without demand. There is no final moment waiting at the end of time. There is no sudden silence. There is only thinning, stretching, softening. And within that softness, rest feels natural. The galaxy remains, massive and patient, long after brightness fades from the universe. It becomes part of a quieter cosmos, one where motion continues without spectacle, where existence is gentle and unforced. This is not an ending. It is a deepening of calm. As you imagine this future, allow the sense of time to stretch inside you. There is no need to mark moments, no need to anticipate change. Everything unfolds slowly enough to be trusted. The universe is not rushing toward darkness. It is drifting toward stillness. And stillness is not absence. It is rest. The comfort of a universe that does not speak. At a certain depth of scale, the universe stops explaining itself. There are no more dramatic revelations waiting, no final discoveries poised to change everything. What remains is not information, but presence. A quiet, enduring presence that does not require interpretation. This galaxy, so massive that it once redefined expectations, now rests in that silence. It no longer surprises. It no longer challenges understanding. It simply exists. And in its existence, something important becomes clear. The universe does not need to communicate constantly. It does not narrate its own story. It does not demand to be understood in words. Most of what it does happens without sound, without light, without notice. Silence is not absence in the universe. It is the default state. The vast distances between stars are silent. The spaces between galaxies are silent. Even within galaxies, most of the volume is empty, calm, undisturbed. Noise is rare. Events are scattered. Stillness dominates. This galaxy exists mostly in that stillness. Its stars orbit quietly. Its gas drifts gently. Its dark matter halo holds everything together without disturbance. Nothing announces itself. This is difficult for the human mind at first. We are drawn to events, to change, to motion. We associate meaning with activity, but the universe teaches a different lesson. Meaning does not require motion. Persistence itself is meaningful. The galaxy's silence does not make it insignificant. It makes it complete. It has reached a state where it no longer needs to prove anything. Growth has slowed. Change has softened. What remains is duration. Duration is the universe's deepest form of expression. Things that last do not need to speak loudly. They do not need to attract attention. They simply remain, carrying their influence quietly across time. This galaxy has become such an object. It influences the cosmic web without motion. It shapes space without effort. It persists without awareness. And in doing so, it reflects something calming back toward the observer. The mind does not need to be busy to exist. Thought does not need to race to be alive. Awareness does not need constant stimulation to be real. Just as the universe is mostly quiet, the mind can be quiet too. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. Space where nothing demands response. Space where nothing is wrong. Space where nothing needs to be fixed. This galaxy exists in that space. It does not rush toward the future. It does not cling to the past. It rests in the present of cosmic time. As you imagine this, the concept of scale begins to fade. Size no longer matters. Mass no longer matters. Even time begins to lose its sharp edges. What remains is a sense of steadiness. The universe is steady. not static, but steady. Its largest structures change so slowly that they feel permanent within any meaningful frame of reference. This steadiness creates a backdrop against which smaller, faster processes unfold without chaos. Life exists because the universe is quiet enough to allow it. Earth exists because it is sheltered within that quiet. This galaxy exists because it has reached it. And when the mind recognizes this, tension releases. There is nothing urgent happening in the universe. There is nothing demanding attention. There is nothing approaching that requires preparation. The galaxy will remain where it is, silent and massive, whether or not it is remembered. The universe will continue expanding quietly. Time will pass without announcement. This realization is not unsettling. It is reassuring, because it means that rest does not interrupt anything important. Sleep does not pause the universe. Letting go does not create loss. Everything continues. As this chapter settles, allow silence to become comfortable. There is no need to fill it with thought, no need to add explanation. The universe does not explain itself. It simply exists, and that is enough. Letting scale fade into stillness. There is a moment when even silence stops being noticed. At first, silence feels like an absence of sound, a pause, a space waiting to be filled. But when the pause stretches long enough, the idea of sound itself begins to fade. Silence becomes the environment rather than the exception. This is where the universe lives most of the time. Not in explosions, not in collisions, not in brilliance, but in quiet continuity. This massive galaxy, once introduced as something that redefined the universe through its sheer size, now rests fully inside that continuity. Its enormity no longer demands attention. Its mass no longer needs to be measured. Its influence no longer needs to be described. It simply remains, and in remaining, it teaches one final lesson. Scale does not need to be held. At the beginning of this journey, size felt important. Distances were emphasized. Comparisons mattered. The mind reached outward, trying to grasp how large something could be. But here, at this depth of understanding, scale releases its grip. There is no benefit in continuing to measure what cannot be contained. The galaxy does not become smaller. The universe does not shrink. But attention loosens. When attention loosens, effort dissolves. This is the point where thought becomes optional. The mind no longer needs to construct images of stars or imagine distances between galaxies. Those ideas can drift away, just as light stretches and fades over cosmic time. Nothing is lost when they fade. Understanding has already occurred. What remains is a feeling rather than a concept, a sense of depth without edges, a calm that does not need explanation. The universe becomes background. This background is vast, but it is not intrusive. It does not press inward. It does not demand awareness. It simply holds everything gently, including the galaxy, including Earth, including the quiet moment you are in now. The galaxy rests inside this background. Earth rests inside the galaxy. You rest inside Earth's gravity. Each layer supports the next without effort. This nesting is not fragile. It is stable. It has lasted for billions of years. It will last far longer than any single moment of attention. Knowing this removes urgency. There is no need to stay alert. No need to follow the story further. No need to anticipate what comes next. The universe is not leading anywhere in a hurry. Time continues, but it does not rush. In the deep future, galaxies like this one will remain long after bright events have faded. They will exist in a universe where change is subtle, where motion is slow, where silence dominates. That silence is not empty. It is full of continuity. And continuity is deeply comforting. Because continuity means Nothing is about to break. Nothing is about to collapse. Nothing is about to demand immediate response. The galaxy's gravity will not suddenly fail. The cosmic web will not unravel. Space will not tear open. Everything continues exactly as it has, moment after moment, without announcement. This constancy is what allows the mind to rest. The need to monitor fades. The impulse to think recedes. Awareness becomes softer, wider, less defined. Thoughts may still appear, but they do not insist on being followed. They drift like distant stars visible for a moment, then gone, leaving no trace. Breath becomes more noticeable than ideas. Stillness becomes more present than sound. Weight becomes comforting rather than heavy. The galaxy no longer feels distant or large. It feels neutral, just another part of a universe that is mostly quiet, mostly empty, mostly calm. This neutrality is not boredom. It is peace. Peace does not require stimulation. It does not require novelty. It does not require meaning to be actively constructed. It exists when nothing needs to change. The universe has reached that point many times before, after bursts of formation, after eras of activity, after growth slows and systems settle. This galaxy exists in such a phase, and so can the mind. There is no rule that says awareness must stay sharp, no requirement that thought must continue, no expectation that attention must be held. Letting go does not create loss. It creates rest. As scale fades completely, what remains is presence without focus, a sense of being supported without needing to understand by what, a feeling that everything is stable enough to be ignored. The universe is stable enough to be ignored. The galaxy does not need attention to remain massive. Earth does not need awareness to keep turning. Your breath does not need instruction to continue. Everything is already happening correctly. And with that realization, even the idea of listening can fade. Words become distant. Meaning dissolves into tone. Tone dissolves into silence. The story has done its work. There is nothing left to hold, resting inside the universe. There is a quiet reassurance that comes from realizing you are not floating freely. Even in the vastness of the universe, nothing is truly adrift. Every object is held by something, by gravity, by structure, by relationships that stretch across space and time. This massive galaxy is held by the cosmic web. Earth is held by its star. You are held by the planet beneath you. These layers of support exist whether or not they are noticed. The universe does not abandon its creations. It binds them gently, consistently, without demand. Gravity is not a force that rushes or startles. It is a steady presence, always there, always working quietly in the background. This galaxy rests within that presence. Its enormous mass does not struggle against the universe. It fits into it. Its gravity aligns with the larger patterns around it. It is supported as much as it supports. This idea of being held is subtle but powerful. We often imagine vastness as something empty, something indifferent, but at every scale, the universe is full of connection. Space is not a void in the emotional sense. It is a field, one where influence flows gently, where structure forms naturally, where nothing exists in isolation. The galaxy does not cling to the cosmic web. The web does not restrain the galaxy. They coexist in balance. This balance is what creates safety. Nothing is pulled apart abruptly. Nothing is left unsupported. Even as the universe expands, gravitational bonds persist where they are strong enough. Systems remain intact. Order remains. This is why the universe can feel calming rather than overwhelming when seen clearly. Its vastness is not chaos. Its size is not hostility. Its silence is not neglect. It is simply spacious. And spaciousness allows rest. When the mind understands that everything is already supported, It stops searching for stability. There is no need to brace against uncertainty, no need to anticipate collapse. The universe has been doing this, holding, balancing, continuing for billions of years. It knows how. This galaxy did not have to struggle to remain massive. Earth does not struggle to stay in orbit. Your body does not struggle to breathe. Everything is already participating in systems that function quietly and reliably. As this understanding settles, the feeling of being held moves inward. It becomes physical rather than conceptual. The surface beneath you feels more solid. Gravity feels more comforting. Stillness feels less like emptiness and more like support. Nothing is asking you to stay alert. The universe does not need supervision. It does not require monitoring. It does not depend on awareness to remain stable. This realization removes a subtle tension that often goes unnoticed, the tension of feeling responsible for understanding everything. You do not need to understand the galaxy to be supported by Earth. You do not need to comprehend the universe to be held within it. Support is automatic. And when support is felt, rest follows naturally. The galaxy continues resting within the cosmic web, unchanged by thought. Earth continues turning, unchanged by attention. Your breath continues rising and falling, unchanged by intention. Nothing needs adjustment. The universe is not fragile. It does not need protection. It does not need intervention. It has been stable long before awareness arrived, and it will remain stable long after attention fades. This stability is what allows sleep to arrive gently. There is no danger in letting go. There is no risk in drifting. Nothing will fall apart if thought quiets. Everything is already held. As this chapter settles, allow the sense of being supported to deepen. There is nothing you need to do to maintain it. It is already happening. The universe continues quietly. The galaxy remains massive and calm. Earth remains steady beneath you. And within all of this, you are safe to rest, drifting without effort. At this point, nothing needs to be followed. The story no longer moves forward in the way stories usually do. There are no new ideas waiting ahead, no discoveries requiring attention. Everything important has already settled into place. What remains is drift. The massive galaxy still exists, far beyond reach, unchanged by time in any way that matters now. Its gravity continues holding stars in slow, patient orbits. The cosmic web continues supporting it gently, without strain. Space stretches quietly around it. And none of this requires awareness. As attention softens, the universe becomes less like something to observe and more like something to rest within. The mind no longer needs to picture galaxies or imagine distances. Those images can fade naturally, just as light fades when it travels far enough. Nothing disappears abruptly. It simply becomes unnecessary. This is how rest arrives. Not as a command, not as a decision, but as the absence of effort. The universe does not rush toward conclusions. It does not close chapters. It allows things to continue quietly, without punctuation. This galaxy does the same. It remains present without announcing itself, massive without movement, stable without attention. Stability is felt rather than understood. As thought loosens, the body becomes heavier in a comfortable way. Gravity feels like support instead of pull. Stillness feels like permission rather than pause. Breath becomes slow, steady, unremarkable. There is nothing to manage. The universe has already taken care of structure. The galaxy has already taken care of balance. Earth has already taken care of motion. You do not need to help. This realization is subtle but powerful. It allows responsibility to dissolve, not responsibility in the moral sense, but the quiet mental responsibility of staying alert, of tracking, of understanding. Understanding has already happened. Now, awareness can thin. The galaxy does not require remembrance. The universe does not require attention. Time does not require monitoring. Everything continues exactly as it should. As this continues, even the sense of being held may begin to fade, not because support disappears, but because it no longer needs to be noticed. Like the ground beneath you, support is most complete when it is forgotten. Sleep works the same way. It does not arrive when you try to hold on to comfort. It arrives when comfort no longer needs attention. The universe becomes background again, not distant, not abstract, but simply present without focus. The galaxy fades into that background, still massive, still real, but no longer relevant to thought. This is not loss. It is completion. Nothing is being taken away. Nothing is ending. Awareness is simply narrowing to what remains closest and most immediate. Breath, weight, stillness. These do not need interpretation. The vastness of the universe has done its work. It has shown that nothing urgent is approaching, that nothing fragile is about to break, that everything is stable enough to be ignored. And so it can be ignored. As the mind drifts, there is no need to stay with the narration. Words can blur. Meaning can dissolve into tone. Tone can dissolve into silence. The galaxy will remain whether or not it is remembered. The universe will continue whether or not it is noticed. You can rest without missing anything. Nothing important requires wakefulness. This is the final gift of scale. It removes the pressure to stay awake. And as awareness loosens completely, rest arrives not as something separate, but as the natural state beneath thought. Everything is already quiet enough. When the mind stops traveling, there comes a point when even drifting feels unnecessary. The universe no longer feels distant or vast. It no longer feels close or intimate. It simply feels present, unchanging, stable, and unconcerned with attention. The massive galaxy remains where it has always been. The cosmic web continues holding it. Space continues, stretching quietly around everything. And none of this needs to be followed. The mind has traveled far enough. At first, awareness moved outward, toward stars, toward galaxies, toward the largest structures imaginable. But now, movement slows, direction fades. There is nowhere left to go that would add anything new. Distance no longer matters. The idea of far away dissolves when there is no need to reach it. The galaxy does not feel distant anymore. It feels neutral, neither near nor far, neither large nor small, just present. This neutrality is important. When something no longer feels large or small, the mind stops comparing, and when comparison stops, effort dissolves. There is nothing to measure against, nothing to evaluate, nothing to rank. Thoughts loosen their grip. The universe does not present problems at this scale. It does not ask questions. It does not demand answers. It does not even offer mystery anymore. Mystery requires curiosity. Curiosity requires effort. Effort fades naturally here. The galaxy's size no longer stimulates wonder, not because it is understood completely, but because it no longer asks for understanding. Its existence is settled. Its presence is constant. The mind responds to that constancy by becoming still. This stillness is not forced. It does not require discipline. It arrives naturally when there is nothing left to pursue. Just as the universe rests in its vast equilibrium, the mind mirrors that rest. Thoughts may still appear, but they do not travel anywhere. They rise and fall without direction, without narrative. They pass like faint ripples across a calm surface. Nothing pulls them forward. The galaxy no longer anchors imagination. The universe no longer expands in thought. Everything becomes evenly distant. This evenness is calming. It removes sharpness. It removes urgency. It removes expectation. Time loses its edge here. There is no sense of before or after. Moments blend together. Awareness becomes continuous rather than segmented. Breath continues. Weight remains. Stillness deepens. The universe does not notice this stillness. It does not need to. The galaxy continues existing regardless of awareness. Space continues stretching quietly. Nothing changes because attention has softened. This is reassuring. It means that rest does not interrupt anything important. Nothing depends on wakefulness. Nothing requires monitoring. Everything that needs to happen is already happening on its own. The mind can stop traveling. There is no destination waiting. No insight just ahead. No conclusion to reach. The story has already fulfilled its purpose not by finishing, but by becoming unnecessary. As this realization settles, the sense of listening begins to fade. Words lose clarity. Meaning dissolves into rhythm. Rhythm dissolves into silence. The galaxy remains massive. The universe remains vast. And neither requires attention. Only rest remains. Rest without direction. There is nothing you need to remember now. Nothing from earlier matters. Nothing from later is required. The universe does not keep track of moments. It does not collect thoughts. It does not ask for attention. It simply continues, quietly, without pause. The massive galaxy remains exactly where it is. Its stars continue their slow, endless paths. Its gravity holds everything gently in place. And none of this asks anything of you. Awareness can soften completely. There is no need to follow ideas as they appear. Thoughts may drift through, faint and incomplete, but they do not need to be finished. They do not need to be examined. They pass on their own, leaving no trace behind. Just like distant light, the universe is full of light that never reaches anywhere. It travels, stretches, fades, and eventually becomes part of the background. Thought can do the same. It can fade without consequence. Breath continues quietly. The body remains supported. Stillness deepens. There is no direction now. No inward. No outward. No forward. Only presence without focus. The galaxy no longer feels massive. The universe no longer feels vast. Everything feels evenly distant and calm. This evenness removes tension. Nothing stands out. Nothing pulls attention. Nothing asks to be held. Time becomes soft here. Moments blend. Awareness loses edges. The sense of being here gently loosens, not disappearing, but becoming less defined. This is natural. Sleep is not something that happens to you. It is something that appears when nothing blocks it, when effort fades, when monitoring stops, when awareness no longer needs to stay alert. The universe has shown you that nothing urgent is happening. It continues quietly, whether or not it is noticed. The galaxy does not care if it is remembered. Space does not care if it is observed. Time does not care if it is tracked. Everything continues without supervision. This realization allows a deep release. The body does not need instruction. The breath does not need control. The mind does not need to decide anything. Everything is already doing what it should. As awareness drifts further, sound may blur, words may lose meaning, sentences may feel incomplete. This is not a problem. It is a sign that attention is no longer holding tightly. The universe does not require clarity. It requires nothing. The galaxy rests. Earth rests. You can rest too. There is no final thought to reach, no conclusion to arrive at, no understanding left to complete. The story has already faded into background. Only quiet remains. And quiet is enough. The universe without observation. There is nothing left to witness. The universe does not pause when observation ends. It does not dim when attention fades. It does not slow when awareness drifts away. Everything continues exactly as it has, quietly, steadily, without interruption. The massive galaxy remains where it has always been. Its gravity continues holding stars in place. Its presence remains woven into the cosmic web, and none of this depends on being noticed. The idea of observation slowly dissolves here. The universe is not a performance. It does not need an audience. It does not change its behavior based on attention. It existed long before awareness and will exist long after it fades. This understanding removes the final trace of effort. There is no need to stay awake to keep things real. There is no need to remember to preserve meaning. There is no responsibility tied to awareness. Everything exists on its own. The galaxy's mass curves space whether or not it is imagined. The cosmic web stretches whether or not it is pictured. Time passes whether or not it is measured. Nothing requires participation. This is the deepest comfort the universe offers. Existence does not depend on involvement. As this settles, awareness becomes lighter. Thoughts thin out. Sensations soften. The boundary between listening and resting blurs. There is no longer a clear distinction between being awake and drifting. This is not a transition that needs to be guided. It happens naturally. The universe has already done the guiding by demonstrating stability. It has shown that nothing collapses when attention relaxes, that nothing urgent demands alertness, that nothing requires intervention. This galaxy is proof of that stability. It has existed for billions of years without awareness. It will continue for billions more without being remembered. Its existence is not fragile. Neither is yours in this moment. The body knows how to rest. The breath knows how to slow. The mind knows how to release. There is no instruction needed. As observation fades, the sense of distance disappears. Near and far lose meaning. Large and small dissolve. Everything becomes evenly present, evenly quiet. The universe becomes background again, not distant, not overwhelming, just there. This is where sleep arrives, not as something new, but as the natural state beneath attention, beneath thought, beneath effort. Nothing needs to be held. Nothing needs to be finished. Nothing needs to be understood further. The universe continues without awareness, and you can rest without concern, letting everything continue without you. There is nothing left to arrive at now. No final image. No last realization. No ending that needs to be marked. The universe does not close stories. It lets them dissolve. The massive galaxy continues exactly as it has, quiet, stable, patient whether or not it is remembered. Its stars keep their slow paths. Its gravity holds without effort. Its place in the cosmic web remains unchanged. And this is enough. Awareness no longer needs to stay with it. Just as the universe carries on without observation, rest can arrive without effort. Nothing important will be missed. Nothing will slip away. Everything that matters is already happening on its own. The galaxy does not notice when attention fades. The universe does not pause when thought quiets. Time does not change its pace. Everything continues. This realization removes the final reason to remain awake. There is no need to keep listening. No need to follow words. No need to stay present. The mind can loosen completely. Thoughts may still drift through, but they no longer form patterns. They arrive without meaning and leave without trace, like distant light fading into darkness. Breath continues. The body remains supported. Stillness deepens naturally. There is no transition to manage here. Sleep does not need guidance. It does not need permission. It arrives when nothing stands in its way. and nothing stands in its way now. The universe has shown that everything is stable enough to be ignored. The galaxy has shown that even the largest structures exist without urgency. Earth continues turning quietly. Gravity continues holding gently. Nothing requires supervision. As awareness fades further, sound softens. Words lose shape. Meaning dissolves into quiet rhythm. Even rhythm becomes unnecessary. The story no longer needs to be heard. The galaxy remains massive without attention. The universe remains vast without awareness. You can rest without concern. There is nothing left to do. Nothing left to understand. Nothing left to hold. Everything continues exactly as it should. And you can sleep now.